Jacksonville first responders say that they have seen an alarming increase in the number of people who have overdosed. Last month, it responded to 436 calls, JFRD. That's a 20% increase from February. Taking a look at this map, those blue bars on the left represent 2019. The orange bars on the right represent this year. And as you can see, there has been an increase in overdoses every single week of March compared to the same month last year. Dr. Brian Jackson is a clinical director at Greenfield Center Outpatient Addiction Treatment. He's joining us this morning via Zoom. Doctor, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
So the chief medical examiner here in our area says it's too soon to know if the overdose increase is happening from maybe stay-at-home orders, from the closing of some doctors' offices, or maybe something else. But, you know, we listened to the fire chief yesterday suggesting that he thinks people may be turning to street drugs because they can't manage their pain with so many doctors' offices closed. Regardless, these stats are certainly hard to ignore. How might isolation in general increase someone's risk of overdosing?
Oh, very much so. I mean, it's so important to stay connected. I mean, in general, just because of what we're going through right now in terms of isolation and shelter in place. But, you know, isolating is not good. I think there's a lot of fear out there. There's financial fear, there's financial suffering. And so it's disheartening because we're seeing a lot of relapses and we're seeing a lot of overdoses. You know, a lot of ways, maybe people are trying to escape the whole situation, but it's a very difficult time for people in early recovery or people who are trying to stay in recovery from their addiction, because I think this disconnection from other people or people who are in recovery is difficult.
So are there warning signs maybe that family members could pick up on, considering how hard it is to actually see their loved one perhaps now, particularly if they don't live nearby?
Yeah, I think, you know, lack of communication where people aren't calling or returning phone calls if they're living with the person. A lot of times you'll see the person just shut down, be less responsive in terms of communication, some anger outbursts, things of that nature, just something that's out of character for that person, you know, and try and kind of pinpoint that maybe something's up, you know.
And this can be a very difficult conversation in general to have face-to-face with someone that you maybe are worried about. Given that now it's about maybe FaceTime or making that call, are there certain questions then perhaps that family members could ask that could maybe signal to them that maybe they need to help with some intervention?
Well, I think just, you know, again, just seeing how the person is doing, trying to keep those lines of communication open with them. You know, maybe just asking them, have you heard from so-and-so? Have you talked to so-and-so, in terms of family members and friends and things of that nature. But, you know, I think the direct question, you know, in terms of are you drinking too much, sometimes can, you know, put a person off. But, you know, there are services that are available. We are open, you know, and I can consult with somebody over the telephone and maybe give them some direction and advice because, you know, every case is different.
And that said, right, I mean, obviously, you are still working, you're still helping your patients. So this could be, and I hate to use the word easy, but this could be as easy as making a call then and just like what we're doing now through Zoom or even FaceTime that you could really help someone.
Yes, you know, unfortunately, we're not, you know, live physical together with our group and with our patients, but again, we're staying connected. It's a big adjustment for everybody. In a lot of ways, it's more convenient. You know, people have children that a lot of times they can't make it to the doctor, and now their children are home, and so Zooming or Skyping or phone calls are actually in a lot of ways more convenient. And sometimes I find it that people are more open in a situation like this where they're on at home and able to talk to a doctor or to a counselor. So yeah, we are available for that. And actually for existing patients, we're doing stepped up, you know, the amount of FaceTime that we're having with them during this period that we're going through.
Dr. Brian Jackson is a clinical director at Greenfield Center Outpatient Addiction Treatment, joining us here this morning. Doctor, thank you so much. And I hope that if there's any message then that they have heard from you, it's ask questions and help those who may be feeling isolated at this time so that you can get them some help. Thank you, doctor.